You know, when I call Greg Kelly USA the most miserable man on the internet, that's his baseline status. I want you to know, if you knew. I want you to know that his basic operating system is misery, is just sad, upset, hateful, gross, like just pitiful, just fucking pitiful. But that is the normal Greg Kelly. That's Greg Kelly when that's just always him. Imagine how he feels today when Durham's final hurrah has just eaten a giant steaming bowl of shit chili with chopsticks, just blah, blah, just eating diarrhea soup, and him trying to polish this turd as it goes down Durham's gullet is just, I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, hey, JT in Stockton. I am glad you're safer now than you were a week ago when before the police stopped the guy who was killing Stocktonians. Yeah, crazy. So anyways, this is all good. Steele dossier source acquitted of lying to the FBI. Ooh, acquitted of, ouch. Oh, so found innocent? Was he, here's a word. This is the word I hope you use. Exonerated. That's right. Igor Derichenko was exonerated by Durham in a court of law, right? I mean, obviously, if you dodge any kind of charges or you're found not guilty, even on a technicality, in Trump world, that means you've been exonerated. You haven't been exonerated. Yes. So he's the Igor Darnolchenko has been acquitted. Well, okay. I just want to see how this asshole.
When you have these woke revolutions, it requires all of us at some point to say no, not going to do that.
No. Oh boy, here he comes. We all know the world is against him. By the way, can I just point out before this clip even starts? Yes, I can. It's my goddamn show. Looking a little bagged out. I drove last night after my show at Flappers, got in the car, drove back to Vegas so that I could broadcast in as pristine a quality as I am regularly able to manage and do my Friday show with Philip so that you guys could see him very well. I got in at 3 o'clock in the morning and I had cats stepping on my balls at 5 a.m., waking me up to get fed. And I'm spry. I mean, I obviously got up for a little while, went back to sleep, took another nap, and then did some other shit too. But I don't know. This looks like bourbon to me. We'll see.
We all know that Russia collusion was a lie. There was no collusion between.
Yeah, there was. Yes, there was. And your sad, pouty bullshit will never get rid of that fact. And by the way, in several areas, the Trump campaign, and Trump himself and his whole fucking family sought to collude with Russia and then just got passed over.
Between the Trump campaign and Russia, zero.
No, not zero.
Even Mueller had to acknowledge that. He did read the report.
I did read the report. You didn't read the report. It doesn't say no collusion. It says, I'd love to try him for a crime, but Barr won't let me. And we hate Barr. He's a weakling.
As to how it all started, well, Mr. Durham has been investigating that.
And in between, I guess, bouts with having inverse mutton chops, has he been investigating? Has he really, though? Because it sounds like he's been writing diatribes in his filings to try and make right-wingers leave him the fuck alone because this isn't going anywhere.
And unfortunately, he's 0 for 2. Another guy.
Man. Yep. 0 for 2. Shit. How many people went to jail, including Manafort, around the Mueller investigation? $56 million in seized property. The cost, the Mueller investigation actually made money for the for the American taxpayer. I'm just saying.
Was just found not guilty. His name is Igor Danchenko. Here he is walking out of court. Which one?
Yeah, it's just that's him right there.
Is he, by the way?
Which one is he? Motherfucker, I thought you were following this. You're the news guy. It's your goddamn clip. Why do I have to pick him out? Who are you asking?
I think...
Fuck you. It's that guy right there. He's behind him. It's him, stupid.
I don't know. One of these guys. He's not
Jesus Christ.
exactly a household name.
Yeah, that's the one thing about... I mean, all these guys are getting acquitted. I mean, none of them have gotten any moxie. None of them... I mean, look, sure, he might be a free man, but what's his branding like, you know? I mean, it's no Trump stakes, I'll tell you that.
Igor Danchenko found not guilty by a jury of lying to the FBI, which seems pretty extraordinary. He got away with it, or did he?
Well, I'm guessing because he's walking out of court, he did. Also, he might not have gotten away with it. He may have just not actually done it. So maybe that's what he means. It's not what he means.
Let's bring in Joe DeGeneva, former U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C. news.
And a man that Donald Trump still owes money to. Also, is that the medallion from the Golden Child he's wearing around his throat?
Max contributor. Joe, welcome. I don't know. Is John Durham a good attorney or not? I know.
Yeah, he's great. It's just the case fucking sucked. You can't, I mean, you know, a poor craftsman blames his tools, Greg, and you are quite the tool.
Oh, he is. But what's happening here?
I think he decided he wanted to convict both the FBI and Danchenko, and he couldn't do either. So,
right. I don't know that that's making Greg feel any better. Yeah, Joe Degenerate, that's his name, yes.
So he decided he was going to embarrass the FBI by making them not really a victim, look like they were co-conspirators, and he ended up with the short end of the stick. I think he...
Yeah, all right. You guys, did anybody write that down? Anybody, can someone create a flow chart or whatever the fuck that gibberish was? This is Trump's old attorney, by the way. This guy.
He actually was pleased with the result. I think he expected the same thing in the other case with Sussman. He wanted to dirty up the FBI, and he dirtied up the FBI in this case, and he also dirtied up Bob Mueller in the cross.
All right. I'm having a hard time picturing this guy without facial hair. It looks like his face has been attacked by a tribble, or he was just like eating a tribble and is like looking up quickly.
Examination in this case by showing conclusively that Mueller was either incompetent or he decided he was going to ignore evidence completely.
I agree. There was lots of evidence that Trump was colluding with Russia, and he ignored it. Now, largely because Barr made him, because they weren't allowed to look into his finances, because Trump, the one area where he knew, you know, you have to have motive and opportunity, and then the motive part, that's financial gain. But you couldn't look at his finances, couldn't look at his loans, couldn't look at Deutsche Bank and where the money went through, couldn't look at Bank of Cyprus and where the money came from. So, you know, how do you indict somebody if you don't even have a motive for why they would commit the crime in the first place, especially on a federal level? Oops.
Just to try and get Trump. So I think Durham, in his own mind, has accomplished his goal, which...
Well, that's what you're looking for, wasn't it? Greg, you really wanted John Durham to just satisfy himself on a personal level. You know what I mean? You want him to be able to wake up every morning, take a deep breath, and know he did his darndest.
Was to show that the FBI is beyond help, that it's totally corrupt, that its current director, Christopher Wray, cannot possibly fix it. And
well, I mean, fish stinks from the head. Who appointed Wray again?
That there needs to be a new start. His report will be an afterthought because what he accomplished through the trial was to show just how bad the FBI was.
Yeah, totally. I mean, nobody even watches the FBI files on Amazon Prime anymore. They don't do it. You know, like people, you know, I saw online somebody's like, I read Durham's filings and I can't even watch Silence of the Lambs. It makes me want to puke. Like, Is that Jed Hayes or Ged, like Getty? Or just general education diploma? Either way works for me. Jed Hayes from Bolton, UK.
And is and remains to this day.
And Donald Trump was right. Everybody said he was crazy.
No, we didn't say he was crazy. We said he was stupid and disgusting and immoral and gross. And yeah, I don't think he's crazy. I'm not going to buy an insanity defense on any of Trump's crimes.
Everybody was saying he's saying it with no evidence. But when well, this is one of the many times he said it. He said it to Leslie Stahl. They spied on his campaign.
No, they didn't.
The biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
Well, there's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is. It's all over the place.
It's everywhere. They're looking at me. They don't know. Of course, just you don't even know. Read the things on the internets and the webs on the thing. People hand me things all the time that say you're right, boss.
Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something?
They didn't get caught.
You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally verified.
No.
It's been, just go down and get the papers.
So yeah, that's fuck. Why didn't we at 60 Minutes think newsstands? Oh, what the one thing they threw a monkey wrench in our whole goddamn system. Just go do thingy do. Yeah, this is the one he walked out of. He walks out of a bunch of them. It's hard to keep track.
They spied on my campaign. They got caught.
No.
And then they went much further than that, and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie.
And I guess we are seeing it.
No, you're fucking not. That no one took that from what he just said to her. No sensible human being who isn't just a ball gargling maggot cultist would watch that and go, boom. Amazing. I have no idea. Do they, whatever the fumes are that are pumped into the Newsmax studios, I'm sure the CIA, Mossad, and the FSB wish they could get, a pull off of that pipe.
Even though we're not getting convictions.
Yeah, that's what it basically. Yeah, we proved it proved it in a court of law by not proving it in a court of law. Massive. I mean, boom. You should have seen the fist pump that Durham did right after he was acquitted. He was like, nailed it, bro.
Yes, that's true. And I must
No, it's not.
say I've known Leslie for 20 years, 30 years. That was one of her most embarrassing moments. Because Leslie's not stupid. She knew damn well that the FBI and Bob Mueller and James Comey tried to frame Donald Trump.
Okay, first of all, that's not even the content of that fucking clip. That part, he's answering parts about they know they were out to get him. That clip is about as he's coming into the White House and previous to the campaign that they were that because of Papadopoulos and Carter Page that they were tracking those folks because they were engaged in FARA violations. Really fucking obvious. Same thing with fucking Flynn. Flynn had to leave his post because of it.
That was what the whole thing was about. And as far as 60 Minutes can't put stuff on, give me a break. But
yes, I agree. I mean, anybody who says they can't put stuff on when things were obviously put on the air. God. He's a lawyer, by the way. Lawyers are big on leaving contextual words out.
the bottom line is this. Trump was spied on.
Well, yeah, one of the issues was the Russians, when he did invite him into the Oval Office, did leave some listening devices behind. That is true. It's just, say, 6 of 1 half. The Russians, us. That's the difference.
They tried to destroy him.
And they only made him fatter.
After the election and in between the interregnum, Comey tried.
Ouch. They got him right in the interregnum. I hope they, shaved the area first and made a precise incision.
Tried to set up the framing by setting up that phony briefing in New York. When all is said and done, Trump.
I don't know what that was either. I guess you have to speak maggot or something. Like, is there a decoder ring? Do I have to, when you sign up for Truth Social? I did not get a decoder ring.
Was right, but it didn't do them much good because they.
Russia is good. Russia is good for a laugh. M9300. Russia is good at murder.
He practically destroyed his presidency by a totally illegal and unconstitutional investigation of him.
Okay, first of all, it was legal. His own Justice Department oversaw it. It was not unconstitutional. It was restrained by the Constitution itself and by the powers above it, which is why Barr was able to keep them from indicting him, because he had the constitutional authority to set the terms by which they could finish their investigation around him. There was nothing illegal or, and even if he's, shit, he could be talking about the impeachment at this point. It doesn't matter. Like, you just
if I had been,
which is also constitutionally sound. Kathy, thank you so much for the super chat for the show last night. That's very, very sweet.
John Durham, I would have indicted the FBI. I would have.
Yes, and you would have had just as much success. You would have indicted the FBI. And then after you were laughed out of court, then what?
I've indicted Comey, a number of FBI officials for.
Wouldn't you? He was the head of the FBI at one point. Wouldn't that be scooped in if you indict the FBI? Isn't that just kind of a big catch-all? It's like an inverted class action suit. I'm suing fucking everybody, right?
For conspiring to defraud the United States government of the faithful service of their agents.
Okay. All right. I think he means Trump, that by going after him and investigating his connections to Russia, that they were denying the American people the full service of Donald Trump. Okay, first of all, then what was all the golfing about? Apparently he had enough free time to golf a bunch. Obviously, are you going to sue golf courses as well?
To conspiring to deny Donald Trump his civil rights and a host of other charges. But he chose not to do that. And that's because Durham is an institutionalist. He believes in those institutions. And
yeah, what a fucker. The guy actually wants to be an officer of the court and keep it that way.
Wants to save them. But now he's come to the conclusion, in order to save the village, you must destroy it. And that's...
Yeah, that's what he did. I'm going to burn this fucking block and quit it. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's good. Whatever. He's not doing anything of the sort. He's done. It's 2 low-level cases, and it's over. What do they think happened? He's moving to the villages in Florida maybe after he retires. Is that what the fuck you're talking about?
That's what he did.
Those institutions are not in the Constitution. I just...
Correct.
Yeah, they're all about...
Jesus Christ. Neither is a woman's right to vote. What the fuck are you talking about? Those institutions. Yes, they are. The general welfare, the common defense. Under those categories, they can create any myriad of projects and departments below them to dole out that. Fuck off. All right, then how about this then, asshole? Freedom of speech does not include the written word or the ability to broadcast it then. Because television network, licensed networks are not in the Constitution. The fuck? Putin is good. Putin is a twerp. He's a Chauvin monkey with shit for brains. We have a troll in there trying to, you know, you can't be on Twitch for very long without getting at least one rape apologist. I mean, come on. And they help us spread through the algorithm, so we don't really care. It's one of the worst trollings we've seen in a long time. M9300, is that the isn't that one of the tanks from the early 90s that they still use? It's made out of cardboard and spit. Is the bomb, right?
They're all about their agencies.
Oh, these fucking agencies, you know. There's nothing in the fucking Constitution about a Veterans Administration, okay? There's no VA in the fucking Constitution, okay? Common defense. Who the fuck says that includes a Navy?
Not about the people. Joe DeGeneva, I'm so glad that you were not sucked in by the swamp. You conquered the swamp.
Yeah, he did great, man. When Trump fired you because you were an embarrassing lunatic, and even to him, that was consider that a win, almost as big as Durham's win in court. I love, you have to enjoy it. You have to take some joy in watching them polish this turd.
Former U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C. Thank you, sir, very, very much. And we'll be
You're
right
welcome.
back.
Yes, we'll be back. No, you won't, actually. You're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. Don't forget, like, subscribe, especially the subscribe part. On YouTube, you can become a member. You can gift memberships. On Twitch, you can become a subscriber. You can gift subscriptions. On Twitch, if you have Amazon Prime, your subscription doesn't cost you a dime. You got to re-up it, though, because we always got to remind people you got to do it again and again. On other things, it can be automatic, like patreon.com/HalSparks. You can become a patron subscriber and help the show out. And there we go. As we grow and grow and grow. Igloo, igloo, igloo.